Most of the young people I've taught have admitted to lying about their Facebook age.
A 13-year-old girl, 8 o'clock in the morning, takes a naked picture of herself. There's a boy in her year group that's been kind of pressurising her, send these pictures, all the other girls are doing it, what's the matter with you? She gives in, she sends the picture of herself naked in front of her mirror at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 10 o'clock, most people in that school have seen that image. It's been spread around mobile phones everywhere. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we were aware that image has gone around 6 other schools, and they weren't just schools in Bedfordshire, one in Cambridgeshire. Somebody then gets the picture and next to it puts the girl's full name, they put her telephone number, they put her home address, that gets sent out. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're receiving calls from actually over in Norwich to say that children in Norwich have received the image.
Extremely concerning. As a mum trying to do my best with my children, making sure that they understand the differences between people in general. You know, differences are not a negative. Differences is what makes us all human and dynamic.
If their confidence is knocked at a young, vulnerable age, it can determine what they become in future, you know, how successful they are, their relationship with families. And so really getting on the case now when they're young is so important.
There are lots of criminal offences you commit if you actually cyberbully someone. So threatening and menacing communications, that's sending somebody nasty text messages, or doing something nasty online, saying you want to hurt someone, you want to beat them up. It carries a maximum prison sentence of 6 months.
In terms of communicating with her friend, she's only allowed to talk to people she knows. She can follow people as long as she asks me first.
They were exposed to things on the internet I had absolutely no idea about.
We probably deal with about 10-15 jobs a week around cyberbullying in particular.
I know one of my friends, someone was calling her on Uvu that she didn't know.
Bullying in schools has certainly taken on a new direction since constant access to social media on smartphones has been available.
And it's so easy for someone to make a flippant comment, by, you know, tweet it, Facebook, text it, without thinking of repercussions.
A stranger would send photographs to my children of themselves and body parts, and it's not something that, you know, they ever spoke about.
There will be a point where I won't wait for them to come to me and say, Dad, I'm experiencing some sort of problem. I'll probably bring it up quite early on, so if they do get a phone or they do start using a computer or a laptop and Facebook and stuff like that, I'll actually explain to them, look, this is one of the things which is not acceptable, and if anything like that ever happens, you need to tell me straight away, and then we can deal with that together.
So around the indecent images, the self-generated indecent images, the sexting, it's an ever-growing issue with us. We probably deal with about 6 or 7 jobs a day, and I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg that we're aware
So
of.
as a mum, yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried that my son is going to grow up in a world where bullying is the norm.
I've got a daughter who's 12, and I've already had that chat now that if anyone ever joins in your conversation, you tell me. If anyone ever wants a photograph of any part of your body, you do not send it.
Harassment, consistently sending people messages that don't want to receive them, that's a 4-year prison sentence. And if we move into hate crime, for example, picking on someone to their race, their religion, their sexuality, their disability, that carries up to a maximum prison sentence of 7 years in prison, so it's pretty serious stuff.
I think just people thinking a little more before, people are so wrapped up with Facebook and with Twitter that for a start they're forgetting to communicate with each other face to face anyway. A lot of communication is now done just through technology, but if they are going to use technology, to think before they do it. I know it's meant to be instant, but just take a moment. What you are sending out there, what you are posting will remain out there.
Like I say, this has probably sort of spurred me on to thinking now how I'll deal with it in the future.
As a young person under 18 sending a naked picture of themselves to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whoever else it might be. Biggest problem is once you've sent that picture, you don't know where it's going to end up. It could end up going around the whole school, could end up being sent to mum, dad, whoever looks after you. In the worst case, it might end up online in a website that offenders, adults that want to try and look at pictures of children, shouldn't be looking at those pictures, can see, and they might try and find you and locate you, harass you and bully you into sending other images.
There will definitely be a set of boundaries and rules that I'll set my son.
And what would you do if you started watching it and you thought, oh, I don't think this mummy would like this? What do you do?
I would tell you that they're watching it, so then you can maybe have a word with their parents.
Send an indecent picture, a naked picture of somebody in your year group. You look at it, you laugh at it, you forward it on. In the eyes of the law, you've committed quite a serious offence there. You've distributed a child abuse image. That's a 10-year prison sentence, and would also see something called sex offenders register for life.
If they became bullies, which obviously is another thing that's kind of gone through my head,